Help! Please! I'm in jail!
I have $50,000 in a box.
Suspect is secured. Officers, move in!
The Quiet Case Files.
The house is quiet at 8 in the morning. It is a heavy, peaceful stillness. You only get this kind of peace after 30 years working as a 911 dispatcher. I was sitting at the kitchen table, watching the steam rise from my Earl Grey tea. The morning light was soft on the window. It was supposed to be a quiet day, but after 3 decades of listening to emergencies, you never really stop listening for trouble. Suddenly, the phone rang. It was a number I did not know. In this town, that is common, but I felt a small spark of intuition. I picked it up. Before I could say hello, a voice exploded on the other end. It was a young man. He was sobbing and breathing fast. He sounded like he was in pure panic. "Grandma, help! Please, I'm in jail! I messed up so bad!" For one heartbeat, my stomach dropped. That is exactly what these criminals want. They want your adrenaline to spike so your logic shuts down. But my hand did not shake. My mind went into professional mode instantly. I reached for my tablet on the counter and opened the GPS tracking app for my family. I saw a blue dot. It was sitting perfectly still in a high school history class. My grandson was safe in school, miles away from any police station. The fear vanished. It was replaced by a cold, sharp anger. This was not my grandson. This was a predator trying to steal from an old woman. Most people would hang up and feel angry, but I am not most people. I spent my life managing crises. I took a slow breath, cleared the authority from my throat, and prepared to play my part. I made my voice sound weak. I let a little tremble enter my breath. "Oh no, Jimmy, is that you? How much money do you need? My ears aren't what they used to be." The voice on the other end became even more dramatic. He told me he was in a car accident and the police found something illegal. He said he needed $10,000 for bail and a lawyer. Then he said the most important rule: "Don't tell Mom and Dad, Grandma. They'll be so disappointed. You're the only one who can save me." It was a classic isolation tactic. They want to cut you off from anyone who can tell you the truth. I looked at my tea and made a choice. I was going to be an investigator, not a victim. I asked him to repeat the instructions 5 times. I pretended I couldn't hear him well. How much did you say, dear? 100? My ears are very bad today." I could hear his frustration growing. His patience was like an old rope about to break. I wanted him frustrated. When people get angry, they stop looking for traps. They only focus on the money. He snapped the numbers at me again. I waited, letting a long silence hang on the line. Then I whispered like I was telling a secret. "I don't have that much in the bank, Jimmy, but I have a shoebox in the attic. My husband didn't trust banks. There's $50,000 in cash up there." The line went silent. I could hear him recalculating. $50,000 is a huge score for a lowlife like him. His voice changed. It wasn't panicked anymore. It was smooth and oily. He was greedy now. He was blinded by the numbers. He told me to pack the money in a heavy envelope and wait by the door. He didn't even ask why a confused old woman had $50,000 in her attic. He told me, "I will send a friend to pick it up in 20 minutes. Stay on the line with me, Grandma." He wanted to keep me on the phone so I couldn't call the police. But I have 2 phones. I put the first phone on speaker and moved quietly. I went to the pantry and grabbed a large shipping envelope. I didn't go to the attic. I went to my recycling bin. I took yesterday's newspaper and started cutting the pages in the shape of money. I stacked them up high. To give the envelope the right weight, I went to the garden shed. I grabbed a heavy red clay brick. I slid the brick into the envelope and surrounded it with the paper. When I picked it up, it felt heavy. It felt like $50,000 of greed. The scammer was still talking in my ear. He was being nice now. He called me a hero. He told me I was the best grandma in the world. It was nauseating to hear him lie while I was building his trap. He thought he was the puppet master. He didn't know I was setting the stage. I looked at the heavy package on the table. It wasn't just an envelope anymore. It was a confrontation. I thought about all the people who actually lose their life savings to these monsters. People who worked hard for 40 years just to be robbed in 10 minutes. My blood was boiling, but my hands were cold and steady. A good dispatcher does not let emotion win. You have a job to do. I reached for my second phone. I opened the neighborhood group chat. In this part of town, we protect our own. Most of my neighbors are retired police, firemen, or teachers. I typed a message we had practiced before. Code red, target incoming, block the street. The replies came back instantly. Ready, said Bob. In position, Miller said. I watched through my window blinds. The neighborhood changed, but it was subtle. To an outsider, it looked like a normal morning. But I saw Bob wheel his lawnmower to the very edge of the street. I saw Miller park his heavy pickup truck at an angle, making the road narrow. I carried the brick-filled envelope to the front porch and placed it right in the center of the mat. Then I went back inside and locked the deadbolt. The metallic click felt like the start of a race. I opened my laptop and connected to my 4 security cameras. This was my private dispatch center. I called the local police chief on his personal line. We worked together for 20 years. I said, "He's coming, Mike. The package is on the porch. The perimeter is set." He told me his officers were 2 blocks away, waiting for my signal. I watched the screen. My heart rate was steady. I've heard 1,000 tragedies over a headset, but today I was watching a criminal walk into a wall. The scammer on the phone told me to stay in the back of the house. He wanted me to be a ghost. A black sedan with dark windows turned onto my street. It moved slowly. It stopped right in front of my house. A young man in a dark hoodie got out. He looked nervous. He kept looking at the neighbors' houses. He saw Bob mowing the lawn and Miller's truck, but he thought they were just background noise. He walked up my driveway. He reached the porch and grabbed the envelope. I saw his face on the camera. He felt the weight of the brick and he smiled. He thought he was rich. But then the world closed in on him. Bob pushed the lawnmower into the street, blocking the car. Miller pulled his truck forward, sealing the exit. From both ends of the street, police cars appeared. There were no sirens, just the blinding blue and red lights. The young man froze. He looked like a trapped animal. I reached for the talk button on my video doorbell. I didn't use the shaky old voice. I used the voice that commanded a city for 30 years. Suspect is secured. Officers, move in. The man jumped. He looked at the camera in total shock. He realized the helpless woman was actually the commander of the operation. The police forced him to the ground and handcuffed him. They found a notebook in his car with a list of other victims. I saved those people today. The police chief looked at my window and gave me a respectful nod. The cruiser drove away, taking the predator with him. My neighbors gave me a thumbs up and went back to their homes. The street was quiet again, but it was a different kind of quiet. It was the quiet of a job well done. I walked back to the kitchen. My tea was still on the table. I picked it up. It was still warm. They think we are soft because our voices tremble or we walk slow. They think our minds are fading, but they forget we are the ones who built the world they are trying to steal.
We are not victims. We are guardians. I sat down and took a sip of my tea. I looked out at the oak trees and the sun. I am old, yes, but I am the one who keeps this neighborhood safe. And today, the silence was exactly how I liked it. It was earned.